How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to My Comic Life. Now, if you are new here, My Comic Life is a comic vlog that comes out Monday through Friday. At least I try my best. And I love talking about the comics that have came out this week and any type of comic news that comes out. So if you like what you see here, go hit that subscribe button and let me know what you guys have been reading. Alrighty, so I was wondering, what should I start off with? So last night I read Blackbird, issue number 5. Sharky the Bounty Hunter, issue number 1, New Image. New Image is like, you always try those books out. Because, you never know. I don't go for the financial side, but you never know when you're going to get a really good story. Usually you do. Now, I have Guardians of the Galaxy, issue number 2. And the book that I'm going to start talking about first is Naomi, issue number 2. This is a book that I was not actually planning on picking up in the physical form. But I thought to myself, hey, if this issue could kind of ramp up things from the first, maybe I'll stick on with the series and pick it up physically. The story has not really moved anywhere. At the end of the first issue, we had Naomi, who went and confronted a man she never even talked to. And it seemed like she was kind of scared of, to ask about this whole entire event with a superhero that came on the day of her when she was adopted. And so, really, the thing about this issue is that I feel like it just doesn't go much of any direction. You got a lot of Naomi questioning, for some reason, to her adopted parents of being like, Why was this day important? What are you not telling me? And it's very melodramatic. I do like, though, how the parents confront their daughter and them asking about her birth parents. And I'm kind of always am a sucker for those type of stories, just because, I was adopted, but I was raised with my mother, my biological mother, but I was adopted, by the man who raised me. And, always wondering who your parent is. It's always like, a thing you always want to know. And so she's just confronting her parents about this, and they told her, hey, this was an adoption that we don't even know who the parents were. It's all locked and keyed, and, it's all a secret. And then she confronts her parents saying, hey, that big scary man that told me that the events that happened with the superhero happened on my birth date, or my date of birth, or my adoption date, how did he know? Is he my father? Dun, dun, dun! And I was just like, oh boy, this is pretty damn melodramatic. The art in here, I did like. I enjoyed the art. There was this one really cool scene where it could have been done a little bit better, but you have the parents talking while they're having a family dinner, and you see the panel getting smaller and smaller, and the words that are being said just really don't, they're all like, more, 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 more. And that scene, I was like, ooh, I kind of like the way that this, is conveying just her frustration and not knowing this mystery that of the superhero that came on the date of her adoption. So will I pick up issue number 3 in the physical form? No. Issue number 1 and 2 just really told me, hey, all I really need to know. So if Naomi comes out on a sale in Comixology for like really dirt cheap, I'll see where Bendis has taken this story, because right now Naomi's just too melodramatic for me, and I got better comics that I can, put my money towards. And then I read Guardians of the Galaxy. Donny Cates has been one of those writers that I've absolutely loved. And the moment I heard he was coming on to Guardians of the Galaxy and he was bringing along his creation of Cosmic Ghost Rider, I was on board immediately. Issue 1 was really awesome, where you had this whole entire will and last testament of Thanos, and he has this sneaky, he comes on this projector saying, hey, if you guys are, listening to this, just know that means I'm dead. And I have put my conscience into one of these people that are in this, that you see right here. So any one of you could actually be the conscience of Thanos. And so you got a whole bunch of, fighting amongst each other, trying to figure out what's going on. And then the Black Order comes, takes the body of Thanos, and then Peter Quill comes into the story, and we got a whole new group of Guardians. And really, this issue was kind of a slowdown after that big old first issue, where you have Peter Quill going around his ship, talking to different people. You see their strife between one another, and it felt like an issue that just slows down and gives time for some character development and seeing where everybody's at. By the end, I was just like, the end, you get a new group that's saying the Guardians of the Galaxy are not doing their job, and we're going to go after Thanos' daughter. Because they think that that's the one who most likely, Gamora is most likely the one that has the conscience of Thanos. So this issue I thought was good. It was a very slowed down issue. Art's good. Donny Cates, I have the most trust in the world, so definitely going to be picking up issue number 3. And I really love this cover. Now on to some independent books, or creator-owned, with Sharky the Bounty Hunter by Mark Millar and Simon Biaggi. So this book, I just had to show you the art. The art in here is all done. The penciling and the coloring is all done by one artist. And I have to say, the coloring really, really took me out of this book. It's so dark. It's kind of hard. Alright, there we go. If you just look at this book, the coloring is just so dark. At times, it's just so unpleasant to look at that it really just took me out of the book completely. Mark Millar, he has created, or he has signed a deal with Netflix where he will now be taking all of his properties over to Netflix. So, most likely, this book will be turned into a television series, and I really don't think that this is going to be one of those ones that's going to be any good. Because the comic is very much a cliche. You have this bounty hunter in Sharky who goes around collecting his bounty and getting money to try to pay off his gambling debts. And he got this one guy. Well, this one guy was taking care of this kid. And the kid has gone up to Sharky when he's in the middle of having sex, right? With a woman who, by the way, is going to be turning herself into a truck or a car or a motorcycle. I couldn't figure out what was going on with her, but she's explained now. Oh, I always loved I always loved automobiles, and I want to become one, so I'm going to take all my body parts and, transform myself into a motor vehicle. And I was kind of like, wow, this is weird. So, on her final night, she's having sex with Sharky, and she's talking about how much she doesn't care about being organic. And I'm like, okay, if you don't care about being organic, then why are you caring so much about having sex before you do it? I mean, you're talking all about how you just don't care about feeling anymore. It was really weird. Really weird. And then in the middle of them having sex, this little boy, I think it's a boy, it might be a girl, who knows, comes in the middle of them having sex and says, alright, Sharky, you took my uncle away, and now you have to take me to this other planet because, well, I say so. And of course, Sharky's like, alright, tomorrow, meet me in such and such place, and we'll go off in this journey. Well, then Sharky gets a notice of a big old bounty, so he's like, I'm gonna go get that bounty. And he's going off, and he's like, oh shit, I forgot about the kid who's really, really, really annoying, overly cute for some reason. This book is really, the tone is so strange, the artwork is so unappealing, that I really cannot tell anybody, hey, go pick out this book. Oh man, Mark Millar. I don't know what to think. It's just, it feels like you're just throwing everything to the wall now that you signed this deal with Netflix. And so you're like, I have to give them something. And you're just getting all your ideas, but some of them are really bad and you shouldn't have even done it. And that's what I feel like with this book. Ugh. man, that book was bad. It was mediocre, but the writing was mediocre, but the art just really took me out. And then I went to go look at this artist to see his other work, and he has his own YouTube channel, and he shows himself doing sketches of Marvel and DC characters, and they look really nice, and the coloring that he does looks really nice. And then I look at this book, and I was like, it seems so dark and dreary and just nasty. And I was just like, oh man, what did Mark Miller, I don't know if it's Millar or Miller, told you, saying this is what I want? And it's just like, ooh man, I hope people don't just judge you on this book, because wow, I see your other work, I'm like, hey man, you're really good, but that, oof. And I thought to myself, and I looked on it, and I was like, it couldn't have been him doing the coloring, because, but nope, he did the penciling and the art, or in the coloring, so, yeah, stay away from that book. Now on to another book that I've been kind of lukewarm on, is Blackbird issue number 5. Now, the first 2 issues, I was like, oh man, I'm really on board with this book. And then issue number 3 comes around, and the storyline has been, is that we have our main character, Nina. She has known all of her life that there's these things called paragons, which are basically wizards, and they are amongst us. And she had an event where she was a kid, and she kind of saw into the future of an earthquake that's going to happen at her hometown. And the earthquake does happen. She runs under an underpass, and all these cars were coming down upon her, and this this cat-like creature, this lion creature, comes and rescues her. And from that very moment, she knew that there was something else out there. And then she finds, later on in her life, after her mother's died, she's gone to drugs and alcohol, and she's just a wreck of a person. And the only one really there to center her was her sister. And then throughout this mystery of her trying to find out about the paragons and her meeting one of these people, her sister, the lion creature that saved her, goes and it reappears and takes her sister. So ever since issue number 3, she's been on the hunt for her sister. And I have really I like the character for the first 2 issues, but after issue number 3, I felt like things just got out of whack. There was characters that their whole entire what they were doing in the book just did not make sense. Like, it felt like the writing got really bad at moments. Where our character Nina, who's this wreck of a person, she becomes a girl that, yes, like in the first 2 issues, she was hard, a hard person to get along with, but she seemed like, very, she kept everything in. Well, once she got into the world of the paragons, she became this snooty ass bitch. I really should say that, but that's what I felt. I was just like, this character just feels like something out of a reality TV show. She just feels so fake. And then she meets up with a princess or a queen, and everything just felt like it was kind of falling apart for the series. And then the 5th issue I get into, and I still am feeling like there's something off about this book. Like, this book felt so, like it was going on a good path. And then this turn of events happened, some revelations happened. And I was like, oh, okay. All those parts of me questioning the writer and some of the reasonings behind some of the characters and why they're doing it, now I can see why I felt like everything off was because it was supposed to be. Now, still, our main character, Nina, feels very uneven at times. She is very much a character that you would see on a reality TV show. And then sometimes she feels a little bit more real and hard-edged as you met her in the first issue. So the series has gone... into some weird directions. I will be picking up issue number 6 because issue number 6 is the final part of this story arc, and then the series is going to be going on a hiatus for who knows for how long. But then after that, hopefully Sam Humphries is able to like kind of like go back and like kind of redirect his characters and make them feel like they're not just jumping all over the place emotionally, and they keep on. He gets a good tone for his characters because I feel like he doesn't have that tone at this moment. Jen Bartel, her art, I really enjoy it. Like, I love the covers. The covers are what really grabs me about this book series. But I have faith in the series. I like after this issue, after this reveal, it kind of made me go, okay, maybe now we're going to steer in the right direction. But it has felt uneven up to this point. So that's it. That's all the books I read, this evening. So what have you guys read? Let me know down below. And also, did you guys... I know Sleepy Reader did, and I saw his tweet before I read the book on the Sharky, and he was like, ooh, man, I can't get through this art. And I, too, brother, I felt that tremendously. And it was also one of the reasons why I wanted to go and read this book, is just seeing it, because like, I had it like in my stack, but it was kind of like lower. But then once I saw your tweet, I was like, oh, I gotta go see how bad this book really is, because I actually didn't look inside. I just all I saw was the cover, and I knew it was Mark Miller. I really don't know how he pronounces it, but I saw that was his name, and I know he's hit or miss. And I think this one's a miss. So, that's it for tonight. As always, my name is David Lee. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys.